I'm glad that you...
What was said back then.
I'm just really glad that you reached out to me, too, because I don't want you to go down for any of this if you didn't have anything to do, with anything, because you could go to the prison for the rest of your life because of bullshit lies told by Stacey Wandra or Sarah, It's not a game. This is your life. Yeah.
Right.
This is your life. You already have a daughter. You've got another kid on the way. I'm sure you want to be around for all of that. So...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling me and talking with me and everything. I'd love to have you on the show. Like I said, though, if that's something you don't want to do, too, that's fine. I would love to keep talking with you, especially like if you remember anything else. If I maybe, think of more questions or something to ask or something, I would love to have another phone conversation, or, me, you, and Brandy. We could also have a 3-way phone conversation too, if that would make you feel a little bit more comfortable talking with her. I'm just here for you in any way. If you need me for anything, reach out to me. Text me, call me. I have you in my phone, so whatever you want to do from here,
Yep. Yes, I appreciate that. Yeah, my girlfriend tries to help me, and, she tells me who that is helping and who that is not helping, and, her wishes and this and that, other young ladies' wishes, and just people out there in the world that are good people, you know what I mean? You can't just stay silent on something that you didn't see happen if everybody thinks you did see it happen, but then there's a lot more that comes in between that, ins and outs, and,
Yeah, like I said.
And it's just, I'm trying to get over those constantly for years, and then doing with other stressful things, it's a lot of wear and tear sometimes, but I still try to maintain and keep pushing on,
Yeah.
And that's all I can hope for everybody else.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't want to see you go down for anything that you didn't do. And let's face it, last time Stacey was sitting in jail, he told a bunch of shit, and he got moved from the jail to prison already. I don't know what prison yet, but I did hear that he's already been transferred from Ada County to a prison. I'm actually trying to find that information out. It takes a couple days for the federal system to update itself when they're moved. But yeah, I wouldn't put it past Stacey to continue to talk, to continue throwing people under the bus. So that's why I think it's just really important to, keep having conversations and you getting your story and stuff out there and talking about things. So, because the more the more you do that, the better off you're going to be in the long run. So,
Yep. And I've had multiple people tell me that same thing. So, it must be starting to become true.
I do. I really do believe that. You got to clear your name, Brandon. You're one of the, I'm just going to be straight up. This is me straight up, and I'm blunt sometimes. So me being straight up with you is you are one of 4 suspects. I know for a fact that DA will be bringing charges on all 4 suspects. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know that is going to happen. And now is the time for you to start to talk. Please, talk to Fruitland Police. Please talk to Brandy. If you know anything, I always tell people on my channel, if you see something, if you know something, say something. And that's just me being blunt. That's not me telling you, I know you know something. Those are just the facts. And, I don't know when things are going to go down, but I know it's coming, Brandon. It's coming soon. And I'm sorry if that scares the shit out of you, because it probably does. I know it would scare the shit out of me. And I don't know what evidence they have to bring charges on you. I don't know if that's because somebody's talking. And if you didn't call and get a hold of Fruitland after Brandy put that information out and Adrian didn't do it, that only leaves 2 other suspects that came forward and talked, and they're both sitting in prison right now. So, and whatever they've been spewing hasn't been anything but lies, or, you know, I don't even know what else they would be saying, honestly. I do know that there's so much more to that confession. So who knows what the hell they're going to say. And if you don't have anything to do with Michael's abduction, with his murder, with moving his body, but you do have knowledge of things that happened or who did what or whatever, now would be the time to talk. So like I said, that's just me being a blunt bitch, and I just want you to, you know, I want you to know the facts, and I would hate to see anybody, you know, go down for something like this if they didn't have anything to do with it. So,
yep. And we're on the same page.
Well, I'll let you go. I don't want to keep you on the phone all day, but like I said, if you want to talk again, let me know. If you think of anything that you remember, you know, let me know, or we can have a conversation, or we can set up a time for you to come up on panel. Whatever you want to do.
Good.
I mean,
thank you.
All right.
You're welcome. I mean, I could throw up a thumbnail in 10 minutes and have you up on panel in an hour if you wanted to. Just saying. But,
wow.
I mean, I want to let you know, too, if you come up on panel, I will be letting my mods know not to be letting people trash talk you, to put them in timeout. And maybe I'll even turn... I wonder if there's a way I can turn the comment section off. I don't know. I'm new to streaming. Yeah, I don't know if that would piss people off or if I would lose like people, but I wonder if I can do that. I know somebody. I can actually ask if I can do that, because if I could do that, that'd be great. But if I can't, and there are people in chat saying bullshit, please just ignore them. For real, just ignore them. But yeah, if you want to go live later today, shoot me a text and say you want to go live, and I'll set it up. So think about it.
Okay.
Let me know.
I will.
All right, Brandon. Thank you so much for calling with me, or talking with me.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it was great to meet you, and thank you for everything you did and helping me out and getting to the bottom of this. So,
yep.
Well, now.
Alrighty. Well, we'll talk again.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Enjoy
Thank you.
the rest of your day.
You too, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. So I'm relaying this message to you for you to think about, just in case you may know something. I'm not saying that you do. I just want to make that clear. I don't want you to think I think you're lying to me. I just want you to know that's on the table. And
I'm not lying, and that is pretty much the truth of what happened when I was there. And like, even me opening my mouth a smidgen after what was happening to me about that video getting out when I didn't want it to get out that way, because I was kind of a little buzzed that day, to be honest. You know what I mean? But still, you know, this is something that I take like very seriously, and it's not just going away like they say. And it's freaking, he did see something like that, or did know something like that, and like, why would somebody just go out of the blue and say they've seen something like that or know something about like that if they didn't? Mad or not, that's still like,
right.
It just fucking blows my mind, to be honest. Excuse French, but
no, you're fine. I just wanted to let you know that that's what they offered him, and I'm pretty sure they would offer you the same if you called to talk to them about anything, if you wanted to, if you needed to for any reason. I just wanted you to know that. I'm not, I'm not really close or anything with Brandy. I just, I do YouTube stuff. I talk about information that I know that's out there, information that Fruitland talks about. I go over Stacy's interviews and stuff, and kind of just speculate on my own about how I feel. And yeah, after seeing Stacy act so friggin' monstrous, I really started changing my feelings about you and thinking, you know what, maybe Brandon's just a guy that got caught up in a bunch of shit. And yeah, so I was really happy to hear from Daniel and stuff when they were like, hey, Brandon wants to talk to you. And I really appreciate you talking to me, but even more so, I know for a fact how thankful Brandy is to be in communication with you. I really appreciate you. Yeah. I know that that's a difficult thing to do, to reach out to her, text with her, especially when you're a suspect. Yeah. And I'm sure it makes you nervous, but I'm telling you now,
the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life for a second there, and I don't know. I really look forward to talking to her on the phone one time, and this whole thing, like when they say that this does scare me, this does bother me, this does bottle me up, this does shut me down, this messes with my head, my mind, my will, my emotion, everything. That is all true, because this is just not something that happens to me every day, and I never thought I'd be a part of something like this happening to me in my whole entire life. So that's why it's like, I take it serious, and it's just, it's important to me, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if you're guilty of doing anything, yeah, it's a rough road. Even if you're not guilty of doing anything, it's still going to be a rough road because you're being called a suspect. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine putting myself in your position or Brandy's position. So,
definitely got its stresses or its weight, and it just, I don't know.
I do think, I know that Daniel and Jessica mentioned something about you possibly wanting to come up on panel and talk about things. I already know you're nervous talking to me. I would love to have you come up. I could write out some questions we just went over and talked about. You can tell the world the same thing you just told me, and just put your side of the story out there. And we could either have Daniel come up with you, we could have Brandy come up with you. Now, I think Brandy might make you a little bit nervous, but we could do it that way. Or you could come up all by yourself. If that's something that you're wanting to do. I'm
going to tell you right now, just honestly, from the bottom of my heart, that is something that before I was more scared about and more silenced about out of my own will. And now I feel like, or by maybe others will, but now I feel like I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think that that'd be a great idea, and that needs to be something that is going to have to take place. And I've never met Brandy personally before, because like I said, I never knew her, the kids, the family, nothing before all this happened. But as everything goes the way it goes, that might be one good time to meet her in person, or the whole family or whatever.
Yeah.
To send regards. And
you do not have to come on my panel. I am not doing any of this for clicks, likes, and views. That is not my gig. I just think that it's important for everyone to know how you're doing. I'm with somebody. I'm having a baby. I'm back in Montana. This is what's going on with me. I haven't gotten an indictment. I don't know anything about an indictment. When is the last time Fruitland, by the way, has tried contacting you? Do you know?
I'll tell you like this. I definitely tried contacting them more times than they contacted me. But at the time, I was pretty upset, and it's like I didn't want to really go over some of the things I was thinking at that time with him. But I called and left him a couple messages, and, you know, like, I feel different about it now than I do then, because in the beginning it was, like, in a little tiny way, but...
Well, do you have, like, a Fruitland officer's phone number, or are you just calling the sheriff's department?
I think I just called the sheriff's department before or something.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I could message Brandy and get you a number to an officer to speak with. That way you can actually talk to somebody when you call versus, you know, having to just leave a message. I can shoot it your way.
That could help.
Yeah, I can shoot it your way. If you choose to call, you call. If you don't, you don't. I'll shoot it that way to you. That way you actually have an officer, so at any time you feel like you might want to talk about anything, that you have a number to talk specifically to somebody. And I know there's a woman, her name is Juanita. I do not know her last name. She's actually the voice in the background on those confession tapes, and I had to give in a tip that was given to me in a message, and she was really nice to me over the phone. So maybe I'll try working on, like, maybe getting you her phone number or something, just so that you have it. And yeah, just trying to think if there's any.
Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate you telling me those things about yourself too, and I feel like I heard that reputation of you before I met you, that you're not in it for just clicks, likes, and views, and this and that and everything. So that's why I decided to try and get a hold of you and, you know, try to explain myself first to you, because it was kind of like recommended a little bit that, you know, you're not trying to, you come against me like everybody else in their opinion. Sometimes you just want to hear more about it. So
right, exactly. You know, if I was in it for clicks, likes, and views, I would take all of these messages that I have about Adrian and put out all this information about Adrian that I have. But I haven't, and I won't until I get the okay that I can do that. Because I won't hinder Michael's investigation in any way, shape, or form. I'll never do that. I actually work on Kyron Horman. He's been missing for 14 years. He's actually a local near me where I live. And honestly, I was asked to do the Michael Vaughan case by Brooks, and I was like, who's that? I didn't even know who he was. And then I found out that the Kyron Horman Foundation, the other boy that I've worked on for years, the Kyron Horman Foundation actually funds and helps the Michael Vaughan case by giving Brandy like flyers and stuff for Michael. So it turned out really crazy that it all was kind of connected, and I always believe everything happens for a reason. So I really feel like, you know, I'm here because I'm supposed to be here. So
yeah, that's that. And I'm sure we're all very thankful for that, and especially me included, very thankful to have met you and got to, you know, speak with you a little bit. And I don't know, I hope to take myself one day to where I can learn how to do YouTube better and figure some things out, and, you know, maybe go that way one day too. But I'm just trying to clear my name, help out, and, you know, maybe help work and get money and put stuff in those funds, take care of my own family, you know what I mean? Got a kid on the way, got stresses of my own, worries of my own, and I think that by working together as a community, that'd be the best thing that you could do than just to work against each other in the community, because that's not going to do anything.
Yeah. Okay. And then I want to go over Sarah's mental health. How was her mental health prior to Michael's disappearance? Like, I've heard about her being out in the driveway, rolling around, talking to this guy and stuff, and that going on. How was her mental health doing?
Okay, so she wasn't doing none of that shit when I was there. I don't know if that happened before or after, but, you know, she's a pretty high-spirited, lifted person, like, loved to carry around her Bible and read verses and this and that. And I feel like she didn't really have, because her and Stacy always didn't really get along so good. In the beginning, they kind of did when I met them, but then they were kind of just starting to argue about little stupid piddly things, petty shit here and there, I call it. I'm just like, would you two just knock it off and chill out? And then I try to, like, give Stacy a little bit of guidance or counseling and be like, hey, you really shouldn't be treating your woman that way, and be nice, and, you know, trying to kind of, like, mentor him a little bit before all this happened. I didn't seem as quite the threat that I do now, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
But as time went on and this and that, you know, he got more upset and more mad, and just because, I don't know, things didn't go his way, or he wasn't making enough money, or whatever the case may be. There's just little arguments over who's going to do chores. It was mostly about chores and shit, too, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Day-to-day living activities, like, could you take the garbage out? Could you sweep the floors? Could you mop? Could you get up and give a shit and give a hand? Or you're just going to let everybody take care of everything for you for your whole life?
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I pretty much, even just hearing from, you know, his roommate and his living situation with her, like, she was constantly on him to, like, pick up after himself, and all he ever did was sit on the phone, talk on his phone with the speaker on, and that is just what he did all day, every day, all the time.
Pretty much. And then we were going to start, like, a oil change business together, and like small issues that you have with vehicles, and try to do that. And then I'm sure that pops up on the internet when you Google it or look it up too. It says Wander's Lube or whatever.
Yeah.
That thing that. So that was about during that time. And then I did get some tools ran up on my account without permission, and this and that, and like just a couple things. It's like, man, I wish you would have came and talked to me about that kind of stuff first. And then we had to work out little things like that, you know.
Did
just bickering back and forth.
Did Adrian ever have anything to do with the lube business?
No. So he came here after all that.
Oh, okay.
Going on. That was kind of like me, Sarah, and Stacy's little thing that we were trying to. It was Sarah and Stacy's thing, and I tried to help them with it. That's how it went.
Did Adrian ever help with the taxi business? Did he ever drive their cars and stuff?
No. As far as I knew, he was just like a customer. And then they met him one day, or whatever, Sarah met him, and then she was just trying to be nice and friendly and like give a person a ride and get him a good, you know, meal or this or that, whatever, try to help people out like they did, and then end up hanging out for a couple days, and then I'm pretty sure that went on for like one weekend, 2 or 3 at the most, and then everybody was just bickering back and forth, and then it's like, all right, everybody go to your own corner, you know.
Right. Did you ever meet any of like Adrian's friends that he hung out with, or that he talked to?
No. Not really, no.
Okay. Did you guys ever like hang out or like go do things on your own or go anything like that?
I mean, we kind of like hung out a little bit down in Ontario. We'd, you know, go do a cruise, and then he'd kind of be there still hanging out with us, not know what to do for the day, so hanging out, and we'd go get a sandwich or, you know. So, what's that? Oh, man, what's that other place? Big Five. Go over by Big Five. Just go kind of cruise out, check little Ontario town out there for a bit. But for the most part, we're just hanging out around Fruitland, Ontario area.
Okay. Did he have his own, like, routine? And I mean, did you ever, I don't know, hear him talking on the phone? I mean, acting suspicious, looking suspicious, like, or saying or doing anything suspicious that you were just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, just anything that you were just like, whoa.
I mean, we definitely had different interests and stuff like that, so that kind of was starting to happen a little bit, yeah. And then I'd take off, and I'd be like, hey, Sarah, could you just give me a ride real quick? I gotta go to work. and go to my other friends and help them do, like, I did concrete work at that time, so I'd have to go over there and help my friend, like, do a little sidewalk project, or go shovel dirt, or go to work, try to make some money, get your project done, and then come back, and then I'm like, you guys just stay over here and keep arguing back and forth, because I've had it. I think you guys aren't working. You're not paying as much bills, this and that, you know what I mean? You guys are kind of starting to irritate me. I'm just getting mad at everybody, so I'm going to go off and do my own thing. Then I started doing all that, and then they'd pick me up, give me a ride back over there, we'd hang out for a little bit, or I was trying to get my own car going at the time so I could just do my own life, you know?
Yeah.
But nothing like super extra out of the ordinary, nothing like
anything like selling
a big red flag right away, no.
Like nothing like selling drugs or, you know, talking about pimping girls out or human trafficking or any of that kind of stuff?
Nope. And if they did do stuff like that or talk about it, was when I was not there.
Okay.
I mean, you can hear, I would hear, like, you know, like some probably general crazy remarks, like, oh, you know, maybe goofing around about different girlfriend, this or that, or whatever, but not like straight up, oh, we're just going to go kidnap kids and freaking pimp out women. I don't think they ever said that to me ever once.
And you're saying that Adrian came when? I mean, when was your first recollection of, like, ever meeting Adrian?
One night when Sarah went and did a taxi run, and then she brought him over from wherever she picked him up from on one of her rides, and then she's like, okay, where do you want to go? Where do you want to hang out for the day? And then he's like, well, I don't know if I can because my baby mama's schedule is this to that, whatever. And then he ended up, like, hanging out with us for a couple days, and then I'm pretty sure Sarah and Stacy were like, well, if you want, you could probably hang out over here and help us with our taxi runs or do work or this or that, and that would be why he probably ended up staying a little bit longer than he planned, is what I would say.
Yeah. So, was it...
But then everyone started fighting, and then he's just like, that's it, I gotta go.
Yeah. I'm sure there were some pretty heated conversations, you know, after Michael's abduction.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying Sarah picked him up from somewhere and brought him back, and then, so when was that? I mean, do you remember, was it a few days before Michael came up missing? I'm pretty
sure it was like a week, or probably like a week before, a week or two before, maybe 3 weeks. It was before that happened for sure, yeah. Maybe even a month.
Okay. And you'd never met him before? You know, because Stacy's got stories that go all the way back. Like, he was there, first he says he was there a few months prior. Then he says he was there, you know, a couple months prior. And then it was the beginning of the month. And, you know, and now Brandy's saying that he was in California just a few days prior to Michael's abduction doing a court hearing. So, do you ever remember him leaving Fruitland and going to California and then coming back after the court hearing? I mean, you may not even know about it.
Yeah, I mean, they never told me that. They never told me their business, you know, so I don't really know what they're planning, but I heard that he used to live in California or Ohio or something like that. That's how that story got put on the news. And, I mean, how my talking to somebody on the phone one day got broadcasted into a YouTube channel or whatever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, but it was around evening time, somewhere when it was just starting to get darker. And then we went to the gas station, got fuel, and then headed out. And then went to the town.
And when you guys left Fruitland to head to California, did you guys ever talk about, like, getting a car? I mean, did you ever talk about, like, getting a car? Or was it just, like,
No,
Kuna, did you guys stop there on 8th in Arizona so Stacy could get out and put power steering fluid in the truck?
I think we stopped for a brief second, and then they're like, hey, can we stop for a second and check our fluids real quick? Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure that, almost 99% sure, yeah, they did pull over for a quick second, pop something off real quick, and then head from there, go to the gas station, fill up. After that, we were driving over there.
Did you see a little kid out there in the neighborhood when you guys pulled over? Stacy says that he saw a kid there in the neighborhood, so I was just wondering if you did.
Not at that time. I remember him stopping and saying something, but I don't think he was saying, hey, there's a kid over there.
Right.
But I do remember that coming up and being one of my questions that they did ask me before, too. And to be honest, I don't recall seeing a kid right then at that time and reaching out and talking to him or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And if somebody was there, he's probably seeing shit, because I don't think so.
Well, the way he describes it, it would actually be pretty difficult to see a child where he says he saw a child in the yard at anyway. Plus, he says that he's in the yard, he's on a sidewalk, and there is no sidewalk there. So, I mean, like, he says a lot. I'm just trying to see if you can answer any questions from things that Stacy has said before, just to, get your recollection of that situation, if that makes sense.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it does help.
That picture that goes around about the guy walking around in the neighborhood, is that you walking around the neighborhood?
So that is not me, because I do not have a tattoo on my leg right there at that spot, wherever that guy had a tattoo in the video. So yeah, that's not me.
Okay. At any point during the day, did Sarah or Stacy get in their vehicle and leave? I mean, even if it was 15, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, just leave and, come back? I mean, after you guys get back
from time.
Yeah, after you guys got back from Kuna, did, Sarah or Stacy leave?
The only time we left was me and Sarah, and we went to look after we got back in the car, and then I'm pretty sure Stacy went back in the house and came in for the night.
And what about...
He's like, that's it, I'm tired, I'm done working, it's over it, back inside.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever, dude. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened.
What about before you guys left to go to Kuna? Did either of them get in a vehicle and leave for a short period of time and come back?
Now that may have happened.
Do you know which one of them left or what car they were driving?
I know that there was 2 cars there at the house at the time before we brought another one over there, so there's a couple vehicles. So when we took off and do that, I don't see, on the day that we went towing, I'm pretty sure that we went there together, but before that happened, I'm trying to think what may or may not have happened either too, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'd probably, if I was to guess, I'd say, yeah, they probably left here and there for a little bit, or I gotta think on it more, but I'm pretty sure they didn't, because, when you're doing traffic runs or this and that, people want rides all throughout the day,
Yeah.
So when they call and ask for a ride, you gotta go.
Right.
Whether you want to or not, if you want to make a couple bucks. So I'm pretty sure that happened.
Yeah,
but I'm just trying to think at the times and trying to line everything up, but...
Well, just let's kind of go over it and see if you can remember something. So you, Sarah, and Adrian come back to the house from Nampa, and was Stacy home when you guys got back? Or do you remember him coming back afterwards?
It's been a while. I don't really remember, but he might have left for a few.
Okay, and then you guys are all like hanging out or whatever. I'm just wondering, if Sarah or Stacy ever left the house between the time that you guys were all there at the house until the time you left to leave, put power steering fluid in, and then get gas and go to Kuna. Because that's what you're saying is happening. You guys left, you guys pulled over for a second, checked fluids, got gas, went to Kuna, got your car, you grabbed some stuff from your mom's house, the tow strap broke on the way back, and then you guys pulled into the neighborhood. And you guys spoke to people coming into the neighborhood?
Yeah, so when we were coming in, there was another car that was coming out, and they stopped the towing rig, and and then they kind of stopped the truck, and everybody kind of poked their heads out, got out, and said, "What's going on? What's all the motion, emotion, commotion in the street?" And then they said, "The kid came up missing. We got search and rescue out here looking right now, and the police and fire and this and that, and the whole Fruitland's out and about right now and going into panic." And I said, "Oh no, that's not good. What's happening?"
Yeah.
And then that's when all that happened after.
Right.
And like I say, I remember a couple times going and trying to look around and this and that after that time. And then I even remember going on a walk through the neighborhood looking around, and just at different times, not that exact same day, but
right,
having concern and looking after, and saying, I wonder if he went down and got in the fields behind the house, or the creeks, or the rivers, or whatever, went through the whole thing in my head too. I just remember the night that all that happened, the next door neighbor came out, they came out, we had lights out on the light bar. I said, get your truck out with the light bar, get your head flashlight things on, and this and that, and let's go see if we can help try to find this kid right now, because this shit ain't cool. I remember doing that a little bit after we got back home.
Are you talking about you guys going and looking with Carson?
Yeah, I think he was out at that time too, in the neighborhood. When we got back, we were towing, so we had the pickup and we were towing the European car or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we get back and go over there, and then we're like, hey, we need to go look, get back in your car. And then me and Stacy get in our car. I'm pretty sure Carson got in his other truck, the neighbor guy that was supposed to help me fix my car, and I thought he was a mechanic before I got to knowing who everybody was and stuff more, and what everybody's criminal backgrounds look like, and this and that, or whatever you want to continue with.
Right.
So yeah.
Now Stacy and Sarah left to go to Montana just a few days before I believe his grandfather passed away or something, and he went up to Montana to see his mom and dad, and got a U-Haul or something, and then came back home. I believe that was like the 22nd through the 24th. Do you know anything about their trip there, or remember them coming back with like stuff from his mom's house or anything? Just trying to confirm whether or not he was actually in Montana at his mom's.
Okay, so I remember him and her saying something about that, and I'm pretty sure they did go on that trip and do that, but I did not go with them. And I thought he said he was going somewhere to visit. Yeah, before his grandpa passed. I remember that, yes. And then I don't know what they did for U-Haul. I think Unless at that time he had a little SUV and a little U-Haul, and they put that down there at that time.
Okay.
Because I do remember helping them with a little trailer. You know, I have helped them with stuff like that, of that nature before, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, anybody that he talks to, he just wants everybody to think that he's done lost his mind and he's on drugs and everything else. And I got a message from somebody that spoke with him face to face. I can't tell you anything more, but they told me, you know, he's perfectly fine. He only decides that he wants to act like a paranoid schizophrenic when somebody wants to talk to him about Michael. So
there's that.
And we know that one of the suspects came forward and reached out to law enforcement after Brandy put that information out that charges were going to be coming on all 4 suspects. Was that you? Did you reach out to Fruitland?
Yeah, I've tried to reach out to Fruitland. I've tried to reach out to the mother, which I have now, through text. You know, I just didn't know when the right time to give her a call is, but I'm still looking forward to giving her a phone call, and I haven't been running or hiding this whole entire time, actually. I've just been kind of sitting back trying to keep my cool and hoping for the best. And when all this happened, I was actually part of going out there when we were coming back in the neighborhood. That's when we got the news. And then after that, me and Sarah even went and got in the car and went and tried to look around and see if we could find him. And then after that, you know, it was starting to get darker and colder, stormier, whatever. And then we grabbed a gallon of milk and then went back to the house. So,
yeah,
that's what I do remember. And
do you remember where Adrian was, what he was doing at this time? Or like Stacy's unhooking, you know, your car and you guys are out looking for Michael. What was Adrian doing?
I'm not really too sure. I don't even know if he was. I'm pretty sure that everybody got in a scruffle, and that's either when he took off and went and spent time with his kid close to around that time, or went and frickin' did some other thing, and I'm pretty sure it was only the 3 of us that could have been there.
Did you ever see
I don't know.
Stacy and Adrian get into a big argument over anything?
No, I never seen it personally, but I heard that they had their little scruffles a little bit here and there, and then I was just like, you guys just need to just chill out a little bit, you know, be nice to each other, and don't be frickin' starting shit. Not your house, you know?
Yeah.
Have some manners. I do remember having to do that multiple times.
I know Stacy mentioned when he was up on panel to Brandy that Sarah and Adrian were sitting there having conversations about going through some kind of app or something to scam women. Do you know anything about that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not exactly, no.
Yeah, he said that Adrian and Sarah were sitting in the living room talking about ways to scam women. I believe it was like through some kind of like relationship app of some sort, and that they were going to meet up with these women and like take their money and stuff. And he said that Sarah and Adrian were doing that. I'm just wondering if you knew anything about it, because I'm wondering whether or not Stacy had anything to do with it. But
right. Yeah, not to my knowledge. To my knowledge, the most the apps were ever talked about or went over and this and that in the house is just like going over like TikTok apps or Facebook or Instagram or just social media stuff, not really so much relationship apps and where to scam people from.
yeah. Yeah, because Stacy's talked about a lot of different scams. So you don't remember anything that you and Sarah talked about that day, or if she never mentioned what Stacy was doing or where he was that day?
I think she said that he had to go out and do, like, maybe he might have to go out and do a call while we go to Nampa or Caldwell. He might have to run out and take care of Fruitland, Ontario area or something. Other than that, not really, no. He's just kind of sleeping in and freaking lounging around and, you know.
Okay. Did you guys drive out to your mom's house? You and Sarah drive out to your mom's?
Yeah, I think we did drive out there for a little bit.
Why did you guys drive out that way?
Because I was going to go to my house, get some stuff for the day, and then I had one of these little, it's like 2.5 gallon water bottle that I wanted to go fill up and get some better water and bring back with me from over there. And then just grab some odds and ends, kill a little bit of time. I think we ended up cruising over that way once we dropped him over to go to lunch or whatever, and then we came back, got him, picked him up, and I'm pretty sure then we took off and went back over to the Fruitland house. Pretty much the best how I remember it.
Right. And that's pretty much what you've said before. I was just trying to go over your day as much as possible, just, you know, maybe even to help you just remember your day or whatever, you know.
Right.
And you're saying it was your idea to go and get your car, your BMW from over there. When you guys got over to your mom's house, what did you guys do? How did that go?
It went pretty good. Just went over there for a little bit, grabbed some of my stuff that I needed, clothes or, you know, stuff for the week, toothbrush, hygiene stuff, water, stuff like that, and then just kind of quick look over the house, check everything out, and then head back.
And Stacy said that you washed clothes when you were over there. Did you wash clothes while you were there?
I don't really recall washing clothes right at that second, no. But as far as, like, maybe throwing some stuff over and, like, getting new clothes and, you know.
Did you take a duffel bag with you over to your mom's house? I'm only asking because it's something that Stacy said you did. He said you took a duffel bag full of some laundry with you to your mom's.
I'm pretty sure I was going over there to pick one up, and then, like, I had this one little, I'm just going to be honest with you, I had one little tiny duffel bag that I cruised around with and had my clothes in, and hygiene stuff and a couple little things here and there, so that's what I had, if he refers to one of those ever.
Okay.
And other than that, I didn't have, like, some big-ass duffel bag to hide bodies in or go kill people or bury them in the backyard or this and that and wash and, you know, like...
Yeah. Did Sarah have her phone with her when you guys went to Kuna?
I'm pretty sure she probably would have, yeah.
Did Adrian call you guys when you guys were gone in Kuna? Do you remember?
I don't really remember.
When you guys drove back to the house, Stacy talks about you guys on your way back, the tow strap breaking or whatever on the car. And I'm old school. I have done exactly that. I have towed a car with just a tow strap, and that shit can break. It can come unknotted. Whatever kind of, I don't know exactly what strap he used. I mean, I've actually used like a big ass rope to tow a car home before. So, did the tow strap actually break?
Yeah, so that part was true. I do remember having like a big yellow tow strap, and when we were coming there to get the pickup, the day that Michael Vaughan comes missing, this is what we were doing. We were coming to my mom's house to get my other car, which was European make, yes, correct, and then we were going to get that and just tow it from her house back over to their house because the people over there said they were going to help me try to get my car going and go through the filters or spark plugs or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we towed it over through there, and we had our strap end up breaking, and it ends up being a big, take forever, knockout, drag out thing, yeah. So that did happen.
Okay, I was just curious.
And I'm pretty sure it was that day.
Yeah. And was Sarah driving the truck from Fruitland to Kuna?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And was she driving the truck when you guys left Kuna to come back when the strap broke?
So I think what it was is, yeah, I'm pretty sure Stacy was driving both ways, because I'd have to be in the car on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I was driving there or if she was. I'm pretty sure she was. And then got out, pumped some gas around like what? I'm trying to think on times to make all these things perfect, but it was around evening time, somewhere when it was just starting to get darker. And
Okay.
then we went to the gas station, got fuel, and then headed out. And then
Yeah, I mean, anybody that he talks to, he just wants everybody to think that he's done lost his mind and he's on drugs and everything else. And I got a message from somebody that spoke with him face to face. I can't tell you anything more, but they told me, he's perfectly fine. He only decides that he wants to act like a paranoid schizophrenic when somebody wants to talk to him about Michael. So
there's that.
And we know that one of the suspects came forward and reached out to law enforcement after Brandy put that information out that charges were going to be coming on all 4 suspects. Was that you? Did you reach out to Fruitland?
Yeah, I've tried to reach out to Fruitland. I've tried to reach out to the mother, which I have now, through text. I just didn't know when the right time to give her a call is, but I'm still looking forward to giving her a phone call, and I haven't been running or hiding this whole entire time, actually. I've just been kind of sitting back trying to keep my cool and hoping for the best. And when all this happened, I was actually part of going out there when we were coming back in the neighborhood. That's when we got the news. And then after that, me and Sarah even went and got in the car and went and tried to look around and see if we could find him. And then after that, it was starting to get darker and colder, stormier, whatever. And then we grabbed a gallon of milk and then went back to the house. So,
yeah,
that's what I do remember. And
do you remember where Adrian was, what he was doing at this time? Or like Stacy's unhooking, your car and you guys are out looking for Michael. What was Adrian doing?
I'm not really too sure. I don't even know if he was. I'm pretty sure that everybody got in a scruffle, and that's either when he took off and went and spent time with his kid close to around that time, or went and frickin' did some other thing, and I'm pretty sure it was only the 3 of us that could have been there.
Did you ever see Stacy and Adrian get into a big argument over anything?
No, I never seen it personally, but I heard that they had their little scruffles a little bit here and there, and then I was just like, you guys just need to just chill out a little bit, be nice to each other, and don't be frickin' starting shit. Not your house,
Yeah.
Have some manners. I do remember having to do that multiple times.
I know Stacy mentioned when he was up on panel to Brandy that Sarah and Adrian were sitting there having conversations about going through some kind of app or something to scam women. Do you know anything about that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not exactly, no.
Yeah, he said that Adrian and Sarah were sitting in the living room talking about ways to scam women. I believe it was like through some kind of like relationship app of some sort, and that they were going to meet up with these women and like take their money and stuff. And he said that Sarah and Adrian were doing that. I'm just wondering if you knew anything about it, because I'm wondering whether or not Stacy had anything to do with it. But
right. Yeah, not to my knowledge. To my knowledge, the most the apps were ever talked about or went over and this and that in the house is just like going over like TikTok apps or Facebook or Instagram or just social media stuff. Not really so much relationship apps and where to scam people from.
Yeah. Yeah, because Stacy's talked about a lot of different scams. So you don't remember anything that you and Sarah talked about that day? Or if she never mentioned what Stacy was doing or where he was that day?
I think she said that he had to go out and do, like, maybe he might have to go out and do a call while we go to Nampa or Caldwell. He might have to run out and take care of Fruitland, Ontario area or something. Other than that, not really, no. He's just kind of sleeping in and freaking lounging around and, you know.
Okay. Did you guys drive out to your mom's house? You and Sarah drive out to your mom's?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we did drive out there for a little bit.
Why did you guys drive out that way?
Because I was going to go to my house, get some stuff for the day, and then I had one of these little, it's like 2.5 gallon water bottle that I wanted to go fill up and get some better water and bring back with me from over there. And then just grab some odds and ends, kill a little bit of time. I think we ended up cruising over that way once we dropped him over to go to lunch or whatever, and then we came back, got him, picked him up, and I'm pretty sure then we took off and went back over to the Fruitland house. Pretty much the best how I remember it.
Right. And that's pretty much what you've said before. I was just trying to go over your day as much as possible, just, you know, maybe even to help you just remember your day or whatever, you know.
Right.
And you're saying it was your idea to go and get your car, your BMW from over there. When you guys got over to your mom's house, what did you guys do? How did that go?
It went pretty good. Just went over there for a little bit, grabbed some of my stuff that I needed, clothes or, you know, stuff for the week, toothbrush, hygiene stuff, water, stuff like that. And then just kind of quick look over the house, check everything out, and then head back.
And Stacy said that you washed clothes when you were over there. Did you wash clothes while you were there?
I don't really recall washing clothes right at that second, no. But as far as like maybe throwing some stuff over and like getting new clothes and, you know.
Did you take a duffel bag with you over to your mom's house? I'm only asking because it's something that Stacy said you did. He said you took a duffel bag full of some laundry with you to your mom's.
I'm pretty sure I was going over there to pick one up, and then like I had this one little. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I had one little tiny duffel bag that I cruised around with and had my clothes in and hygiene stuff and a couple little things here and there. So that's what I had, if he refers to one of those ever.
Okay.
And other than that, I didn't have like some big ass duffel bag to hide bodies in or go kill people or bury them in the backyard or this and that and washing, you know, like.
Yeah. Did Sarah have her phone with her when you guys went to Kuna?
I'm pretty sure she probably would have, yeah.
Did Adrian call you guys when you guys were gone in Kuna? Do you remember?
I don't really remember.
When you guys drove back to the house, Stacy talks about you guys on your way back, the toe strap breaking or whatever on the car. And I'm old school. I have done exactly that. I have towed a car with just a toe strap, and that shit can break. It can come unknotted. Whatever kind of, I don't know exactly what strap he used. I mean, I've actually used like a big ass rope to tow a car home before. So, did the toe strap actually break?
Yeah, so that part was true. I do remember having like a big yellow toe strap, and when we were coming there to get the pickup, the day that Michael Vaughan comes missing, this is what we were doing. We were coming to my mom's house to get my other car, which was European make, yes, correct. And then we were going to get that and just tow it from her house back over to their house, because the people over there said they were going to help me try to get my car going and go through the filters or spark plugs or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we towed it over through there, and we had our strap end up breaking, and it ends up being a big, take forever, knockout, drag out thing, yeah. So that did happen.
Okay, I was just curious.
And I'm pretty sure it was that day.
Yeah. And was Sarah driving the truck from Fruitland to Kuna?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And was she driving the truck when you guys left Kuna to come back when the strap broke?
So I think what it was is, yeah, I'm pretty sure Stacy was driving both ways, because I'd have to be in the car on the way back. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I was driving there or if she was. I'm pretty sure she was. And then got out, pumped some gas around like what? I'm trying to think on times to make all these things perfect, but it was around evening time, somewhere when it was just starting to get darker. And then we went to the gas station, got fuel, and then headed out. And then...
Sure. Who's this?
It's his girlfriend.
This is Misty coming over here to say hi, and then she heard you say something.
Hi.
Hi. I do want you to know something. Stacey's a monster. He tried to mess with my life over here when I have all my kids. I'm sure you heard the story from Sarah mentioning about chicks from Montana.
I have never spoken to Sarah. She's been in prison this entire time. I know nothing about Sarah. Nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, someone did the interview, and on that interview, she said that Stacey got mad at this chick in Montana and tried to destroy her life and take her kids away.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But you know, you knew Stacy before in Montana?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
So there's
Since 2015
thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I know that he has ties to Montana. I did know that, but I didn't know that you guys knew each other, I should say.
Wish I didn't. Man. I call him a monster in my eyes, to be honest.
He is a monster. Look how he treated Brandy on that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that live show that I did with them. He was a monster to the mother of a missing child. Right. It was the most grossest thing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the most grossest thing I've ever seen, and I've actually had many, many nightmares since then, and felt like I was going to vomit the entire time he was up on my panel. So, to treat a person like that is one thing, but to treat her like that, having her almost have a mental breakdown, I I knew she wanted to ask him questions, and I knew I needed to keep him there, and I didn't want to kick him off. But I'm not gonna lie, when I almost knocked him off my panel a dozen friggin' times because that was disgusting. And I had actually thought maybe Stacy would never be capable of like harming a child, but my entire aspect on everything has changed since that interview, because I look at him now like the biggest monster, and that's exactly how I describe him now. He has some serious anger issues, and that is actually the reason, Brandon, that my mind started to shift a little bit about you, was after that. Having him up on my panel, I started doing more research. I started watching more interviews with you in it. I started really watching your words and just like, okay, let's get down to the bottom of Brandon. What would he have to do with any of this, if anything? Or does he just carry some kind of knowledge about what happened and is just scared to say so? Because
right, and I'm too. Mine's been with it for a long time as well.
Yeah. And
it's crazy that, some of those things like everybody keeps going over, but to just make up some story out of bullshit because you're pissed off or this and that, and then frickin' go with whatever you want to run with or flow with, eventually people's going to be tired of getting BS, and then they're going to go around and talk to people. And then especially like if someone took my kids, like I have a kid, and if someone came and messed with me and my family and my kids and this and that, I think there's a God-given right to protect them, stand up for them, do this and that. And if someone's going to, if that ever happened to anyone that I knew, and then for someone to, whether you're blamed for it, accused of it, this or that or not, just to come back at the mother of that child with such, like, disregard and not give a rip, that is way not cool, Like, that's the biggest red flag to me, personally.
Yeah, it is. He, and then you have them all over the YouTube channels saying everything. I'm sure you've heard it all, and everybody's gone over it. And, you know that he's lying. He is misconstruing everything he says. Stories are not the same. And then, he denies having any involvement at all. And then here comes confession videos where he actually does have knowledge of it and actually pretty much confesses to knowing about Michael, knowing Michael was dead, knowing where Michael was buried, the whole 9 yards. And now he wants to start throwing you and Sarah under the bus. And he mentions throwing Adrian under the bus too, but he really wants to point fingers in both of your direction. So, that's one of the reasons I wanted to just...
Yeah, continue.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm just saying that's one of the biggest issues for me personally, where I started to say, whoa, hold up, buddy. What's going on here now? Because just because I know you doesn't mean that I believe everything that you say is going to be true. And if you do have firsthand knowledge of this and that or whatever, for one, you should be damn ashamed. And for two, you should probably go tell the right people. And, if anything did happen like that under my watch, I'd probably already blown my stack and been like, yep, if you see something like that, you can't just hide it, because it's going to mess with you for the rest of your life.
Right. And I think what it's really coming down to is he did say that Sarah was involved, that he saw Michael there at the house. And so that's why you and Adrian telling law enforcement or talking about what you may have seen or not seen or whatever, that's why that's all important. Because we know you and Adrian were there at the house, and he is telling law enforcement about what happened. So if you guys are around, then, and all of that Stacy is saying happened, then how could you guys not have knowledge of it? I guess and I'm not trying to point a finger at you, Brandon. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you guys are around, Stacy's saying that all of this shit's happening, then how could you guys not have knowledge of it? You know?
Yep.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not, you know, don't take me the wrong way. That's just what I know everybody's asking in their head. So that's why it's just important, you know, for the truth to come out, and anybody that has any knowledge to just, you know, now would probably be the time. I know that Brandy went and spoke to the DA's office again on Friday. She's supposed to be putting out a video of some sort, but I know she hasn't been feeling good, so I think that's why she hasn't put the video up. She has her ups and downs with what's going on with her right now. Just to give an update of what happened Friday. So yeah, that, and I'll send you the link as soon as I know that it went up or whatever, but yeah, and
I mean, I've tried to maybe, you know, like, nothing happened when I was there, but just because nothing happened when I wasn't there doesn't mean that, like, you know, I'm still trying to figure the rest of this all out right now, kind of like an ongoing case, like what they're saying. But if I could ever find a way to talk to Adrian and see what he knows or what he was doing that day, or, you know, like, because I haven't really even seen or heard from him since the day that years ago, you know.
Well, I've been in contact with Adrian also.
So yeah, I have no idea what goes on with that.
I've actually been in contact through somebody else. And I can tell you what he's saying, and I could even send you a screenshot of one particular thing, and it's only one thing that I'll be able to send to you, because that's the only one thing I'm allowed to share right now. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get permission to share more about Adrian at the time, because I really feel like, you know, he shouldn't be out there doing what the hell he wants to do and not talking to anybody about anything, you know what I mean? But I have a text message, and he says that they were he said they were trafficking kids. And after we're done talking, I'll send that over to you. I don't want to try looking for the message right now, but yeah, that's exactly what he said. They were trafficking kids.
See, that's new information to me too. I mean, I've heard other people kind of hint over towards that about them, that they've heard it, but actual factual information on that, this is a new one.
Yeah, Adrian's new game is he wants everybody to think he's some paranoid schizophrenic that can't comprehend shit, and that's just not the truth. He's actually doing pretty damn good, and he's just living the high life, acting like none of this shit's going on. And sorry.
After giving, you know, how everything is and what they've been saying on this crazy story and all the, you know, my head's just kind of scrambled, and I've been freaking thinking about every detail in and out, and like, if something like that could ever happen around me, and if it, you know, just going over everything. And I just think they're kind of strange people sometimes, and this and that, and the more I find out, like, the stranger it is to me, but they never said nothing like that around me when I was there, no.
Okay. So that day he gets his phone call, and you, Sarah, and Adrian had to leave the house. Can you tell me what you guys did that day?
Okay, so yeah, that day I do remember us getting in the car, and then we headed out from over there by Fruitland area somewhere, and then we cruised over to heading towards Idaho more. And then went to lunch over there that one day.
In Kuna?
It was kind of over by, like, Caldwell, Nampa area more, I want to say.
Oh, Nampa, that's what I meant to say, sorry. And you guys took Adrian to Applebee's?
Yes, ma'am.
What was Sarah talking about? What was the conversations like you and Sarah were talking about that day when you guys dropped Adrian off at Applebee's? I know you guys were like cruising around for a little bit, trying to just like waste some time. Do you remember anything specific that you guys like spoke about or did, or like where you went?
I just remember we walked over by a mall or something and kind of went, and we were thinking about doing some shopping, and I know he wanted to get together and hang out with his kid and meet him that day. And so we were going to give him some family time, go over there to see his baby mama and kid or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then went to the mall, looked around for a little bit, and then kind of just dropped him off to go spend time, do his lunch or whatever. And then we just kind of cruised around, and I think we went and got our own lunch after that, and then just killed a little bit of time, and then went back, and then he went off and did his own thing for the day, I'm pretty sure, and then we went on another run, as far as I remember.
Another run, like a taxi drive or something?
Yeah, just doing ride shares.
Okay. And you said he left and went and did his own thing from Applebee's?
I'm pretty sure that's when he went and visited with his family a bit.
What kind of conversations was Sarah having? I mean, was she acting strange? Did she say anything strange about Stacy or where he was or what he was doing?
Not really, no.
And you said that you and Adrian never got into a confrontation about a jacket or anything?
Well, at one point in time, me and Adrian, I think, hung out, and I had one of my coats in there, and we were going to go do like a car crash scene movie, something like that, kind of like a music video thing. Mm-hmm. At one time we talked about doing that, and then I know that I had a nice coat in the vehicle at one point in time or another, and I mean, I said that he could wear it or I could wear it, but other than that, that was the only coat story. I don't remember us getting into any altercation or anything over a coat. No.
Oh, okay. Did you guys go to the mall to film that crash scene or whatever that day that Michael was abducted, or was that a different day?
I'm pretty sure that was a different day.
Okay. Did you and Sarah ever go to a pawn shop to pawn anything that day?
I know we had before. I'm not so clear on that day.
Okay.
I don't think we went. I don't think we did.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of things to ask you. If you can cut me off and talk about, whatever you want to talk about. I just, I've always had, lots of questions and trying to figure out, like, the timeline for the day and who was doing what. I mean, was there anything that you felt like was fishy? Like, once you guys found out that Michael had been abducted, did you hear or see anything after that? I mean, having to do with Michael? Did you hear a conversation? Did you see anything?
Me personally, no.
Do you know of anybody that did, that may have said something to you about it?
No, because at this time and place during that day when it was happening, I was just thinking it's a normal, regular day, so I wasn't really paying too much attention to it. But then later, I remember I got arrested and brought in, and they asked me questions about what happened that day and this and that, and why was he at the splash pad, and what's going on, and where were you at this time and this hour and everything, and they go over that, and it's just I try to do the best of my ability that I can too, even though it's been 5 years now. But yeah, I don't think they were trying to do anything. Sarah wasn't trying to tell me anything like that, no. And I don't think Stacy was even there at that time. So,
do you know where Stacy was?
I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be back at the house at that time, waiting there until we got back, and we were just going to go take Adrian to see his kid real quick, come back, and then did that, and then I'm pretty sure the three of us all came back after that, and then that was part of that day, and then yeah.
Now, I know that Daniel had said that it really freaked you out hearing Stacy talk in that confession tape. What freaked you out about it?
Well, I haven't really quite gone over all of Stacy's things that he's been saying, but the whole fact of the matter that he said that him and his wife possibly killed a kid at their house and this and that, that's the whole part that would probably, freak me out big time.
Well, I can tell you what's in those confession tapes if you would like to know, because he's pointing the finger at you.
Yep, and I've heard that too, which is another thing that, made me pretty upset. And
he said that Michael was buried in a garbage bag. He was buried in the backyard, that Sarah and Adrian are the ones who dug that hole. He also said you weren't there at the time. So I was like, oh, okay, well, where was Brandon at? But he said that you bound Michael up in the spare bedroom at your mom's house.
Which is also false. Because I've never even met Michael or never even seen him or this or that or anything. And I definitely would not do stuff like that. So I know those are lies for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's just things that he's saying, and as far as I'm understanding, there's a lot more videos where that came from. That's just a tiny portion of what Stacy told police back then. But yeah, of course I have speculated, what could have happened if there was some kind of accident when he was bound up or whatever. And like I said, I'm not trying to point fingers at you. I'm just saying these are just things that were going through my own mind when he said those confessions, or talked about it anyway, to law enforcement. So,
right, and I'm trying to sort it all out in the best of my ability in my mind that I can too, and I just keep going over this time and time again for years. I have, and it's almost driving me to the point of being freaking crazy thinking about it to so much detail. But yeah, some things are off from me and Stacy's story, so there's that for sure, for one.
Yeah.
And it's just been a big constant battle nightmare between.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's just like, coming down to the truth, because Stacy's a liar. And to be honest with you, I wanted to talk to you because I believe, I know you have a child. I know you have one on the way, which, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just, getting to the truth of what.
Can I say something?
Sure. Who's this?